Okay, shalom. Shalom, everyone. We're going to be getting started shortly. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. All right, great. Okay. As you can see from the title above, we are going to discuss this. Uh, and the title of this lesson is Were There Pre Adamites? Because there are a lot of students of the word that, as they have read the word, uh, certain questions have come up in the minds of those that study the word. Uh, and when you read the book of Genesis, you'll see where uh, questions like, let's see here, uh, who was Adam? Who was Adam to subdue and take dominion over? Another question. Um, and so, well, actually, uh, Kania is going to be asking questions, and then we're going to be going into the scriptures and finding, uh, the scriptural answer. Let's see if we can answer the questions uh, that have arisen in the minds of those that have read Genesis and other scriptures, and they have one of those moments where they're like, I wonder, um, what this means. Okay. Well, since Father wrote everything for us to know in the Word, we're just going to go through the scriptures and see if we can find the scriptural explanation of certain uh, certain subjects or questions that come up in our mind as we're reading the Word. Okay, so the first one is Kania has posted, because Kania is going to be answering or asking questions, and then we're going to go through and see what thus saith the word of Yah has to say. Okay, the first one is, who was Adam to rule over? Okay, because as you know, when Adam was created, he was giving certain charges or instructions from Yah. And one of those was to subdue and take dominion over the earth. So then the question you have to ask yourself is who were who was Adam and the sons of Adam supposed to take subdue and take dominion over? Okay, that is the question to ask. That's what we want to know. And because I said sons of Adam, because we know that Adam and Eve were supposed to be fruitful and multiply and bring forth sons and daughters after their own likeness. Okay, that's very important to remember that after their own likeness. So that's why I said Adam and the sons of Adam were supposed to rule and take dominion. And actually, because the uh, because of the position of Mrs. Adams, she's supposed to be Adam's helpmeet. That would actually also mean that they have a role in subduing and taking dominion over the earth also, but within the context of what is scriptural for a woman to do. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, then here's another question: who did Cain marry? All right, and let's see. All right, so we're looking at these questions here. Who did Cain marry? That's another question. Because if the only people that were on the earth was Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel, then who did Cain marry? Uh, who, those kind of questions come up to mind. These are just questions that come up in your mind. Who did Cain marry? Okay. I think there's another question about the city, right? So these are questions that the only place to go to is the only trusted place to go to is the 66 book canon. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't deal with anything else other than the 66 book canon. You don't need to. The 66 book canon is the best selling book in the world worldwide, year after year. It is the best selling book. Yes. That should let people right there know that this was the book that Yah ordained for mankind to have in their possession. Nothing else. Nothing else is the bestseller. Go check it out. Google it. See if I'm not mistaken. See if I'm not speaking the truth. So the only place to go is the 66 book canon. And believe me, if the Ruach HaKodesh has given us understanding and wisdom and revelation in the word, it is not a problem to find these answers. Okay, it's not a problem at all. Okay, so who was Adam to rule over? Okay, the answer to that is the creatures of the field. Now, your King James Version uses the word beast. All right, maybe some people may think that's a little too harsh. They call the servant line creatures of mankind, the servant line mankind creatures, they call them beasts of the field. So since this is not about offending anybody, not that the Most High is concerned about offending anybody, because it is what it is. You either like what the Most High said or you don't. So I'll just use creatures of the field, okay? The creatures of the field were created first. The creatures of the field were created first. Okay? Then you say, well, how did Adam come into the picture? Because the truth be known, as you know, that uh, Lucifer or Satan or I don't want to. I'm gonna refer to him as the anointed cherub. I'll refer to him. Okay, I'll refer to him as the anointed cherub. Okay, he originally was given authority to cover the earth. He was to provide covering of the earth for Yah. That was his job, his duty. Who was he? Who was he to rule over for Yah? The creatures of the field that were on earth before Adam was created. So, how did Adam come into the picture? Adam came into the picture because when the anointed cherub was demoted because of his rebellion and his treason and his pride, the Most High decided to what? Create a Adam in his image, in his son's image, and in his spirit, divine spirit image. Okay, let us create an Adam in our own image. And the reason that he did that, he was replacing the anointed cherub that covered the earth, that at one time used to administer or rule over the earth in Yah's stead for Abba Yah, for the royal Elohim family. But he got lifted up with pride, as you know. Okay, so that answers the first question. Who was Adam to rule over? You have just received your answer for that. Okay? Okay? Uh, okay. Who did Cain marry? All right. All right. Who did Cain marry? Cain, as you know, was pushed out of where he was living, and he was going to, I guess, become like a wanderer in the earth, a fugitive in the earth. And the Most High marked him. He found a place, a city. He found a city, and he went there to this city. I believe it's called Nod. I believe. And when he went to this city, and when he went, that's where he took a wife. What was she? A Canaanite. Why did Joshua and all of the Israelites that did not die off 20 and under, who did they have to push out of Canaan? The Canaanites. You know, a lot of people don't want to recognize this truth, but Canaanites and Cain sound too much alike. Okay? Because the land of Israel is the land that Yah was giving to his uh, his offspring, the line of Adam, the sons and daughters of Adam. And their job was, Joshua and the children of Israel's job was to run the Canaanites out of Canaan. Actually, Israel was called, before it was called the land of Israel, it was called Canaan land. Now, that should be another clue. But of course, you've got people that want to push their own agenda. So they try to say, oh no,
Canaan land didn't have nothing to do with Cain. And I'll say you're a liar. I'll say you're a liar. Now, because I don't play with the scriptures. I don't have no agenda. I have one agenda. Teach it like Father intended it to be meant in the first place. Period. So take your lying agendas somewhere else, because you got your own agenda. Okay? Liar, if you don't want to receive what is going forth right now, and I'm proving it line upon line, then go somewhere else and sit down and twiddle your thumbs, or go to the park and feed the birds. Now, what was the next one? The anointed cherub, what was his job in the earth? The anointed cherub's job in the earth for Yah was to rule over the creatures of the field. Now you say, who are these creatures of the field? Don't you know that the anthropologists are always digging up bones, saying that this is the bones of something that predated Adam? You know it's true. You know it's true. Okay? So those were the pre-Adamites. And the anointed cherub that covered the earth for Yah, that was his assignment. He was supposed to keep order. He was supposed to watch over the work that was being done. What were these creatures of the field doing? Well, one of the things they were doing is they were mining for gold. They were mining for gold and silver and precious stones to be used in Abba Yah's in his place where he lives. Okay? All right? Yes, Abba Yah likes gold, he likes silver, he likes precious stones. Yes. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he like all that stuff? He created it. And when he created the earth, that's where all those ores were. That's where gold was. That's where silver is. That's where diamonds and everything. Okay? If you read the scriptures, you know Abba Yah, where he lives, all of those ores, as they call them, are found on the earth. So the anointed cherub that covereth, he was to keep order, and he was to oversee the work of extracting gold ore, silver ore, and precious stones out of the earth. And other angels under him would take those to Yah's to his the place where his habitation. Let's put it that way. Okay. Now, somebody will say, I don't believe that. Well, then, when you get a chance, go to the scriptures and go to Revelation, and then also go to where Yah gave Moses the instructions on building his temple, and see if you do not find that. See if you do not find that Moses was instructed to build the tabernacle or whatever, and to build it a certain way after the pattern that is shown was shown to him. What pattern was that? The pattern of the one that is in heaven, where Yah is. Yes, and also go look in Revelation, and you will see that Yah has a temple. There is a temple, and there is an altar in heaven. Go check it out. You go check it out. Okay. Don't argue with me. You go check it out. Okay. You do your reading. You do your study. Okay. It was fashioned after the pattern that the Most High, that Yah's word Elohim showed Moses up in the mountain. Okay. And yes, does Abba Yah have it adorned with gold and silver and precious stone? Yes, he does. and crystal? Yes, he does. Okay. Okay. Is that enough on that? Uh, did I? Is that enough on that? Okay. Now that's what the anointed cherub. That was his assigned duty, and that was his assigned duty until he got lifted up with pride. And also, you know that let's see, I think it's in Jeremiah where the Most High is upset about the fact that they have taken his precious things, goodly things. I think it's in Jeremiah or either Joel, and they have taken them and used them to build their own, like those pyramids. See, he's upset about that because the heathens have taken his gold and his precious stones and everything and have erected temples unto themselves. I believe it's Jeremiah 16. Let's see. Let me see. Um, Somebody find that. Let's see here. I believe it's in Joel. Maybe it's in Joel. But it says that he has taken his goodly things and the heathens have taken his things and erected and used them in the pyramids. You know all that gold that was in the pyramids and stuff? Okay, they weren't supposed to do that. Okay. Yah wanted it for his uh temple that he has in heaven and his temple that was for his earthly sons and daughters on earth. Okay, that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted for. It wasn't for no heathens to take and build no temples and all that for themselves. That's not what they were supposed to do with the gold that's here. All right. Let's see. Let me see here. Bear with me. Oh, okay. All right. Now here's Joel chapter 3. Here's Joel chapter 3. Um, and I'll read it, verse 4. Yea, what have you to do with me, Tyre and Zidon, and the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried it into your temples, my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Okay? Now, there it is. There's your proof right there. There's proof right there. Okay. What is the next question, Ghana? If you don't, I don't know if I can see it. Something, okay, something is going on with Facebook. Let's see. Yes, it does sound like the Egyptians' mines all over the earth. Okay. All right. What is the next question? And you can also find Abba Yah mentioning that in various other places also. But all of the stuff that they stole, that the heathens have stole, they're going to have to lay it at the feet of Yeshua and the children of Israel during the 1,000-year period. They're going to have to come and bring it and lay it, bring it back. They're going to have to go bring it, get it, and bring it back and lay it at Yeshua's and the co-inheritors, who are the royal sons and daughters, the remnant, at the set time. That's what's going to happen. And you can read that in the book of Isaiah and the book of Revelation as well. You can read that. Yes, they are going to have to come and bring all the things they stole. They're going to have to bring and lay it at our feet. All the gold, all the silver, all the precious stones are going to be laid at Yeshua and at the co-heirs, those that are co-heirs with Yeshua. But these are the remnant type Israelite. I'm not talking about the rebel type Israelite that hate Yeshua, lie on who he really is, and lie about how we're supposed to serve Yah through his instructions. I'm not talking about them. I ain't talking about them. Father don't care nothing about those that lie on him. All right. He don't care about those that don't want to serve his son and lie on who his son really is. Hebrews 1 verse 1 and 2 tells us who Yeshua, word Elohim, really is. Okay. All right. So what's the next question? What is the next question? Okay. What happened to the servant class? Who are they today? Okay. That answer is found in Psalms 83, verse 3. I think that's the most comprehensive list. The most comprehensive list is found in Psalms, but you can go to other places, of course. But let's just let the word speak, okay? Always let the word speak. Okay. Now I'm in Psalms 83, 3. The question is, what happened to the servant class and who are they today? Okay. That's another good question. All right. This is what Psalms 83, verse 1 says. Keep not you silence, O Elohim or Eloha. Hold not your peace and be not still, O Yah. For behold, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have lifted up the head. Okay? What is it talking about? The head. They have lifted up the head. Don't you remember that Yah said to his sons and daughters, Hebrew sons and daughters, I have made you the head and not the tail? They have lifted up the head. That means they have destroyed the those that were that Yah ordained to be his head or lead people on the earth, which is the royal earthly sons of Yah. Okay? They have taken crafty counsel against your people. Do you see that? The head is Yah's people. They have taken crafty counsel against your people and consulted against your hidden ones. Okay? You see it. You're seeing it right here. Okay? They have said, who is they? We're going to find out who they are. They are listed in verse 6, just in case you're anxious to know who they are. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance on the earth. You see that? You see it. And some people talking about there's no conspiracy. Yeah, okay, that's what you think. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. Who are they? Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. That's because there is more than one type of Edomite. You have French, you have English, you have German, you have various Edomites. Okay, families. Yes, but they're all Edomites. Just like you got 12 tribes Israel. They're all Israelites, but they're 12 tribes, 12 families. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Right there, that shows you that Edomites are not Ishmaelites and Ishmaelites are not Edomites. For those that want to say something different, you know. The tabernacles of Edom, the tabernacles of Ishmaelites, of Moab, of the Hagarenes. Hagarenes are where Hagar came from, which is Egypt. Gebal, Ammonites, Amalek, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre. Verse 8, Assyria also joined with them. They have helped, they have holpen the children of Lot. Salah. Then it says in verse 9, then it says in verse 9, the spirit that was in David said, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Did you see what the Spirit said? Do you see what Ruach Elohim, Ruach Elohah said to the Father through David? Do unto them as you did unto the Midianites at Sisera, as you did as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung. What did it? They became as dung for the earth. You're seeing it, and you may not want to receive it, but you're seeing it. You may not want to receive it, but you're hearing it, aren't you? Okay? I don't care whether you want to receive it or not. It's my Abba Yah's written word to us that can receive it. So I don't care whether you like it or not. Don't care. Now, I'm answering the questions. I'm answering questions. What happened to the servant class? Who are they today? That is what happened to the servant class. That's what they conspired to do together. That's what they have done. That's what they have done on the earth. They are the rulers of the earth. They made themselves the rulers of the earth with their father, with the help of the what you call it, the anointed cherub that was dismissed by Abba Yah. Okay? Now, okay. Is there any other questions? Kana, is there any other questions? Title of this lesson is Were There Pre-Adamites? And the short answer is yes. Yes, there were. For all of those that is having heartburn with this message, never forget that Abba Yah describes in Genesis a servant line and a royal line. Okay? Don't you remember he said to Rebekah that the older will serve the younger? Don't you remember he said right there, that should let you know that there's a servant line and there is a royal earthly line. Right there, that should let you know. But there's many other places I could go. But that is in Genesis. He said Yah ordained that the servant line, whom he created first, will serve the Adamite line, namely the remnant that come from the Adamite line, or the remnant that come out of Israel. Okay? That is what Yah, and it's going to happen. Yah is not pressed. He can wait. He can wait for this idiot, what you call anointed cherub that used to cover the earth. He can wait until his little time that he got by default by tricking Eve, or Mrs. Adam. The Most High can wait him out. Most High ain't in no. Most High is what you call eternal. He can wait stuff out. He can wait it out. He ain't pressed. Abba Yah ain't pressed, because all Abba Yah has to do, Yah, what Yah has ordained to happen will happen. Only people that's in a hurry is those flesh and blood spirits. See, we always want to be in a hurry for something because we recognize time. Abba Yah is not controlled by time like we earthlings are. Okay, he's not controlled by it. This is what you got to comprehend about our Abba. He's not pressed. He's not pressed. He's not pressed. But the heathens, or the creatures of the servant line, they have a time limit. They have a time limit when their stuff is going to be over. Where is that? Matthew 24. See, Matthew 24, 21, I believe. Okay. Now, I was going to Genesis, and I was going to show you, what was it, Genesis, where it said, and I don't have to go here because all of you know that the Most High has a servant. There is a servant line that will serve. Daniel 7 tells us that the kingdom will belong to Yah's sons and daughters, the saints, who are the remnant type. Everybody is not a remnant type. Just because you look like a Hebrew doesn't mean you're a remnant type. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. It talks about, yeah, and it talks about here. Okay, it talks about how the Most High told Rebecca that there are two ethnicities in your womb, two manner of people, and they will be separated from one another at birth. The older one, who is a different ethnicity from the younger one, will serve the younger. Who was the younger? Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to what? Israel. And then he had 12 sons and a daughter. Okay? Jacob did not deceive Esau out of anything. The word tells us before those children, those two sons in Rebekah's womb, could do any good or bad, Yah had already loved Jacob and hated Esau. Now, if you don't want to accept it, then that's your business. Same thing with Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael was not the child of promise. Why? Because he was not the one, he was not like Isaac. He was not the same type of, he was not of the royal earthly line, in other words. Ishmael, Esau, they were not of the royal Cain. They were not of the royal line. The Most High lets you know who is his royal sons and daughters and who is not. And the way you tell who they are is by how they respond now, how they respond to who Yeshua is, and how they respond to the gospel. And also they have a physical description also. But it's more than just a physical description. It is a spiritual pedigree that they must have. Spiritual It's physical and spiritual, not one without the other. Not one without the other. Okay? Now, okay? All right? So let's see. Yes, there is a timeline. There is a timeline, Revelation 11:18. There is a deadline for the time that the servant class that has made themselves the ruling class on earth, there is the deadline for them. Their time is not going to last forever. All right? That's why we read what we read. They're angry. Nations means heathens or servant line. They are angry, and that's why we read what we read in Revelation 11:18. Okay, let's see. Am I? Uh, maybe it's Luke. Maybe it's Luke is what I'm looking for. Where it talks about that they will trample over Jerusalem for 42 months until the time of the heathens be fulfilled. That's what I'm looking for. Until the time of the heathens be fulfilled. Okay. Uh, but anyway, you've got the title. You got the until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. It's in. Uh, I may have been looking right at it and missed it, but anyway, uh, but yes, there is a deadline for the time that the heathens or the servant line for their rulership of the earth. There's a deadline. Okay, they won't rule the earth forever, and after their rulership is over, Yeshua will be our king, and the remnant type Israelites will be co-heirs with him. Okay. Are there any other questions about this message? Okay. Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions for this lesson? Were there pre-Adamites? Okay. Revelation 11:18. Okay. The heathens were angry because the time has come for them to be judged. Let's see. All right, I'm in Revelation 11. I'm at verse 16. I'm reading. And the 24 elders which sat before Yah, they sat before Yah on their seats. Okay, really, I guess the Esau publishers, translators didn't want to put thrones, but the 24 elders sit on thrones also. But of course, the Most High sits on the throne above them. Okay, and they sit on their thrones before their seats before uh, the Ancient of Days. And they fell on their faces and worshiped the Ancient of Days, saying, "We give thanks, O Yah Elohim Almighty." Okay, and specifically, they are. This is a declaration that they're making to Yeshua as well, because it says, saying, "We give thanks, O Yah," because the Son's name is Yah, and so is the Father's name. "We give thanks, O Yah, Elohim Almighty, which art which was and are to come. Okay? Because as you know, Yeshua uh, was before the foundation of the earth, and then he came. Okay, Father manifested him, and he is to come again. Okay, he's going to come again because you have taken to yourself your great power and have reigned and have begun to reign. And the heathens, the nations on the earth, were angry. And your wrath is come, because your wrath, the time of your pouring out of your wrath on the earth, has come. The time to judge those that are spiritually dead, that they should be judged, and that you should give reward unto your 144,000 servants, the prophets, and to the remnant type Israelites. And the remnant type Israelites, leave the and out and then just read, them that fear your name, both small and great, and you should destroy the heathens that destroy the earth. You know good and well Hebrews ain't got no factories destroying the earth. You know good and well Hebrews ain't got no plastic factories clogging up all the rivers and the oceans around the world. Go Google it sometime. You will just be amazed at the amount of plastic and debris that is in the rivers and the oceans around the world. That's what y'all's talking about. Fossil fuel vehicles, of course. Okay, so that's why you know good and well he's not talking to Hebrews. Hebrews ain't got no factories. Are you crazy? And you will destroy them that are destroying your earth. See, it just takes some wisdom and common sense from the Ruach. Okay, come on, you know Hebrews ain't got no factories polluting Father's earth. Come on, destroying his earth. Okay, all right, Hebrew. What's he gonna do? Destroy them that are destroying his earth. The Most High got a controversy with the heathens that are ruling the earth, more than just what they've done to his people and taking his silver and gold and putting it into their temples. No, he got controversy with them ruining his earth too. Okay, and you read it just right there. You just read it, so don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. All right. Okay. So, Connor, is there any other questions concerning this? That these are all good questions. These are all good questions, by the way. Very good questions. And as you can see, the word has answers, right? The word has answers. But the Ruach HaKodesh has to lead us and guide us through all truth. And the word is truth. John 17:17. All right? All right. I'll wait a few minutes. See if there's any questions. See if there's any more questions. Connor, are there any other questions? Or are there any questions that you want to um, open it up for anyone to any other questions you have, or any other questions that you want to open it up to those that are in this live right now?
All praises to the Most High. Thanks to all praises to our elder brother Yeshua and the wisdom and revelation of Ruach HaKodesh. Any other questions at this time? No? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, as I said, all praises to the Most High Yah, word Elohim, whose name was Yah. He's Abba Yah's namesake. Go look it up. Oh, I'll give you one right now. Isaiah 66:5. Okay, his name was Yah also. Why? Because he's the Ancient of Days, the Most High Yah's namesake. Okay, and when he came to earth, he took on the name Yeshua because he shall save his people from their sin. And he took on the flesh, Hebrews 7:14. He took on the flesh, the image of a Israelite man. He sprung out of the tribe of Judah, or I should say Judah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay. All right. Okay. So all praises to the Most High Yah. All right. Well, look. Okay. All praises to the Most High Yah. Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay. All right. Remnant Israelite family. Thank you. Thank you, Remnant Israelite family. Peace and blessings. Shalom. Peace and blessings.